It has been 2 months back to van life.
And we've been starting to get people complaining that we haven't done a YouTube update in all that time. So here we are to catch you up on where we've been.
I'm staying on the path that I've chosen, straight up. Come my way and I'll see you at the top. 'Cause something's gonna happen in this story, and I can feel it coming, like the rising of the sun.
So our last video, I think, was when we were up in Norfolk, ending our cruising season, and that was like the end of October.
Yeah, so we were getting ready to put Why Not into storage for the winter season. This is kind of something we've never done, is leave our boat behind to be winterized and with a big work list while we're not there to monitor things. So,
Oh no, we've left the boat behind many times.
but with the
work lists.
winterization and all that, yeah,
winterization.
like kind of leaving it for a whole different season and to have people process that while we're not there. So this is a new thing for us, is leave the boat for our winter season in a place that gets a winter.
And that was always part of the plan as we did the Great Loop very slowly. That's why we kept the RV. That's why we kept the lot in Benson. And so we'd have a winter place to be while we stored the boat, because we don't intend to do the Great Loop in 1 year. In fact, it's going on 8 years now.
Yes, we are slow loopers. We are going to take our time going around. Who knows where we'll end next season. But anyway, the plan was to leave the boat behind in Virginia where we stored it and go fetch the van. So that's actually what I did, is I hopped on a really cheap little flight back down to Florida and picked up our van Blooper, which we had stored down there, and made a beeline 2-night trip to get back to Why Not and Cherie, and then transition,
Right.
reboot our lives from boat life to van life.
Yeah, so while he was getting the van, I was busy just like
Packing.
getting things packed up, getting things just ready for storage. And then we got back. We spent a couple days just moving stuff off of Why Not into the van. It is amazing how much stuff you can fit into a van. I'm always amazed by this.
The van has got such incredible, wonderful, usable space, and particularly without a cat and all the cat stuff on board, which was kind of sad to
Go through that again.
Yes, to like have to get rid of all the cat stuff. We got more storage space than we know what to do with in this van.
Well, we're not doing a lot. Yep.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Still love our van so much.
Yep.
Love our boat so much. Love our bus so much.
Miss our cat so much.
Yes, we do so much. It's very different traveling without a cat, and coming back to the van and getting back to van travels, which was one of her favorite ways, has been bittersweet, honestly.
Yeah.
Missing her here, seeing her claw marks in the furniture, having to get rid of all of her stuff. It's been a bit tough.
There were some moments where we'd go to places and just like have that wave of emotion hit of like, this is the Kiki place. This is one of her favorite spots.
Usually she'd be out the window
Yeah.
looking out, like ready to go explore. So it's been a transition, and that's all part of the process. Anyway, so we left the Norfolk area where we left Why Not, and then headed south back to Florida, where you had just come from.
Yeah, but this time the goal was to actually pick a route we've never done before, and that would be the Outer Banks. And we've done the inside passage by land many times, and now we've cruised up by water, but we've never done the actual Outer Banks by vehicle before. And so this is a
But
great.
we've never technically done the Outer Banks either by boat. We did the inland ICW route.
But we kind of, they were way off in the distance.
We could see them. We could wave to them.
Yes,
But no, we
way,
did
way
not
out
go that far away, because
Yes.
that would have been even more tumultuous than doing the Albemarle South.
Yes, but this was a fun, like, this is Outer Banks. This is apparently a beach vacation destination, beautiful place, a beautiful little strip of land. It's kind of amazing that people can survive there without the ocean washing it away, which actually happens frequently, because
It happened like 2 days after we were there.
the highway washed out.
The roads were washed out. So we timed it pretty well, be going through there in early November. Early November
yes.
we did that.
And it was beautiful.
Yes, so we stopped at basically the 3 different areas of the Outer Banks with national park campgrounds, explored the areas, viewed lighthouses. Most everything at this point was closed for the season, so we didn't get to go up any lighthouses. A lot of the tourist places were closed off.
And Cape Hatteras Lighthouse is under a multi-year renovation, so that's
she's going to be beautiful.
Going to be beautiful when they finish that. But yeah, it was just fun to finally see the Outer Banks. And my favorite part is we got to take 2 ferries. I love going on ferries. So
yeah, it's fun to get Blooper on a ferry. One of them we're on, is it the one from Ocracoke to back to the mainland? I forget which one it was, but it wasn't very busy at all. So we were basically able to sit in Blooper with the window open, just looking at the ocean. It was like being on a cruise ship on your own house.
It was. It's like having it all go by while we had some lunch. And yeah, the ferry rides are very I think they're part of the experience. They're part of the fun. So that was a highlight of the Outer Banks, and then kind of looping back through some of our favorite spots like Swansboro and then back into Wilmington where, where we'd spent so much time last year.
And bittersweet because, we were there for the summer, and that's where we
lost
said,
Kiki.
So, all a mix of emotions. Got to catch up with friends along the way, which was wonderful. Then continued south, stayed at some state parks, stayed at a drive-in movie theater, part of the Harvest Host program. That was super fun.
Yeah, so actually seeing a movie from your seats and then staying there, you never have to leave after it was a double feature for ridiculously cheap. Just the fun drive-in movie experience. We actually have done that now twice on Harvest Hosts in this past van season. It's a great experience to spend the night at a drive-in theater.
Yep. And then we got back down to Sanford, exactly where he picked up
the
Blooper,
van.
just like a week or so prior. And then spent some time catching up with friends there.
And the medical appointments.
Yep,
Yeah.
medical appointments. And then went over for Thanksgiving with family over on the west coast of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And then we ran a marathon.
That's been something that's been kind of in the works for months. Most of the past year, Cherie's like, I think I want to do a marathon. And I was like, I could do a second marathon.
Yeah,
And,
so if you remember, for 2 years ago, Chris did his first marathon for his 50th birthday. I did my first half as part of training up with him. None of us really having much running experience before that. Nothing major anyway.
Yeah. But after that, 2 years ago, we never stopped running at least 3 times a week together. So we kept informed, kept training. And
yes, and I ran my first marathon.
And I ran my second, and we both rocked it. We went back to the same one I'd done 2 years before, the Space Coast Marathon in Cocoa Village, Florida, up and down along the waterfront. It's a beautiful course and very flat mostly, and it was an incredible experience.
Yes, it totally was. We've been working in training runs in with our travels for the last few months, which is a great way to explore the places we visit, is to get out there and find great running trails and explore cities that way. So we've been integrating that in. And then, we both beat our personal records.
We both beat our highest ambition of what might be possible for
maybe
that.
not the highest ambition.
Okay, pretty close. It was,
considering my goal was to finish the darn thing, and then I actually met my stretch goal of time. So it was amazing, absolutely amazing. We might eventually have a blog post on it. I don't know. And then after the marathon, we took a cruise. That
was our recovery plan.
Without Kiki, we can start getting back to other forms of travel. And it had been many, many years since we'd been on a commercial cruise, and we picked Virgin Voyages, which is a no-kids cruise line. Yeah,
it's kind of adult focus, more of kind of a active adult party zone. Not active adult as in the 55 and up, it's the active adult as in 35 and up with no kids. And it was a good mix of people, but it was kind of a mixed experience for us.
Number one, it was only a 5-night cruise, and just to Dominican Republic and their beach club in Bimini. So it's short-term Caribbean cruising. We're well past that. The type of cruising that we were getting into before Kiki would no longer let us leave her with pet sitters. We're getting into 2, 3, 4-week cruises, going to more exotic locations, and that's when cruising gets interesting for us. So I think we're past the stage of doing short-term
particularly Caribbean. We've done that. I don't need to go to another beach club place where the goal is to just hang out on a beach and drink overpriced cocktails. It's we live on a boat. We could do that every day. That was
but we don't have to do the engine maintenance, pump our own poop, and do the navigation sort of stuff.
True.
But it was kind of nice to get away. But at the same time, being in a party atmosphere nonstop. Can't find quiet places to get other than your own balcony cabin. It's just not our thing.
Yeah, so we had a good time. The meal, the food quality was great, particularly the first night. We had some incredible food, but it was overall.
I like their sex positivity vibe. I like their inclusiveness to the LGBTQ community. I loved their sustainability and environmental
some
practices.
Good things to say about Virgin, and then it was just also. I think it's more we're just not into big boat Caribbean cruising anymore. That's probably the biggest thing.
Yeah, I think that's our takeaway.
And the boat was too big for us, even though it's considered small by cruise ship sizes.
Mid-size. So anyway, after the cruise, we started our way to Texas for more holidays with family. My brother was hosting this year. I have a 1-year-old niece, so it's kind of her first
Christmas where she's aware that she's having Christmas, so that was very adorable.
So that was just outside of Austin, which is my hometown, Austin. That's where I grew up. So then we were able to get a week-long reservation at Pecan Grove RV Park, which, if you are familiar with this, it is probably one of the best RV campgrounds in our experience in all of our travels. We hadn't been there in over a decade.
Yeah, so Pecan Grove, what makes it the best is it's all about location, location, location. It is right in the heart of Austin with, access to Zilker Park and the Lady Bird Lake trails and everything right there. You can walk to probably hundreds of places to eat with just like a 15-minute walk. I mean, it's so much to do.
And it's right along a network of bike trails and bike paths. So we got around town by bike. We went to so many places, ran so many errands. $80 a night these days.
Pricey.
It is getting on the pricey side, especially for a van, but it was so worth it to be down there and walking distance to a Trader Joe's. I mean, that's awesome.
And we were there for New Year's Eve. So the Auditorium Shores, as where Austin has their big New Year's Eve celebration, was walking distance away, and they had a Third Eye Blind concert and several other opening bands, and then huge fireworks display right over the downtown skyline at midnight. Walking distance for us, you know. Hey.
Wonderful experience. We had a great time in Austin, and then we started working our way south, which is where we are in new to us exploring territory, the Rio Grande Valley of
Southern
Texas.
This part of Texas, we've never been south of San Antonio really, and this is new. So we did some exploring the bike trails in San Antonio, and now have pushed further south, and our target is to get to South Padre Island for the Starship launch, which is coming up hopefully in just a few more days.
It was supposed to have been tomorrow. It got delayed. It's a rocket. It gets delayed. So we currently have a reservation for about a weekish. We'll stick around, hopefully catch it, extend if we need to, because after this, we have absolutely no plans.
Yeah, the original rough plan that we might have shared a bit is that we are planning to head out to Benson and Zephyr and our kind of Arizona base,
and maybe doing the Escapers Bash.
And we just haven't been feeling that this year. We didn't feel like rushing out for Bash. That would have been way too fast. And then we think about going to Zephyr and what we called the Catsita. It was like all Kiki places out there. And we're like,
after we went through decatting the van, the thought of going through and decatting Zephyr, which was built around her, and decatting the Catsita, I can't face it again. I can't. It's not so soon. I'm not ready for it.
It just doesn't sound like it would be what we're. Yeah, there's no rush to do that. So, and we've got no other agendas, no other reason to need to get to Benson this year. So maybe we push it off until next season.
Yeah, the drive from here in Central Texas, or now South Texas, and across Texas to there, and we've done that so many times. It's not the most interesting drive. We just did it a year ago. I just can't get excited about it. There's not enough going on out there. Not enough of our friends are out there.
Because then we'd have to turn around again before too long.
Yeah, so that's not what's calling us. We don't know what is calling us, because we need to be back to Why Not in
mid-March.
Mid-March-ish. We want to be there on site to finish up the final of the rope project list and be there, make sure everything gets wrapped up, and then we'll resume cruising sometime in April once the weather looks good. That's the general plan. So between now and then, we've got 2.5 months to kill. Some things we're considering is we did set up a profile with trustedhousesitters.com, which we're starting to apply for house sitting, pet sitting gigs. Be a great way to get some cat time, hopefully.
And some time to spread out away from the van, because the van, we love it, but it is, when you're stopping someplace for a week, it's tight. You want to have a space to spread out a little bit. So we're looking to mix in, because these are things we couldn't have done when we were traveling with the cat, mix in longer term stays, whether trusted house sitting or Airbnbs or
furnished findings or other VRBOs. So we're keeping an eye out for things in interesting places,
cool walkable cities,
that we can check out and explore. Maybe they'd be week-long, month-long, things like that. So we're using those venues. We're actively looking for our next opportunities. If you happen to be watching, need a pet sitter, have van parking, need someone to maybe rent a cool location sometime, or you know someone who does, well, let us know. We're open to the possibilities right now. If there's an interesting adventure that you think we should go on. let us know. We are waiting for Chris's passport. He just had to renew it. So international travels are kind of
Well,
in.
the passport is coming this week.
Hopefully,
so, yeah.
hopefully. So international travels. I mean, that we might spontaneously decide
Park
to
the
do it.
van and fly someplace.
Who knows?
You'll get Cherie on an airplane. That's the.
I don't know about that. We'll see. We'll see. That's my God. Not having the passport was a great excuse. Now I have to like, okay, all right. The last one is I'm afraid of flying. Not afraid of flying. I don't like the whole flying experience. Yeah.
Okay, we'll just have to charter a private jet. There we go.
Oh yeah.
Somebody has a private jet who wants to carry us off someplace. Let us know. Hey, we're down.
So anyway, we have our eyes open to what is next. Don't know what it'll be.
Between here and March, it could be anything.
Yeah. So again, if you have opportunities or ideas, please leave them in the comments or write us directly. Contact@technomadia.com is our email address. We are all ears to opportunities, serendipity, and things manifesting for the months ahead for us.
And we do hear from people who say, hey, we haven't heard from you on YouTube in so long. What's going on? Where's an update? Well, we post basically several times a week on Facebook. So if you want to follow real time, the Technomadia Facebook feed is where you can keep up with where we're at and where we might possibly intersect.
Facebook.com/Technomadia. Those posts are usually a couple days behind just because we're lazy and
but not a couple months behind like YouTube.
YouTube is always going to be a month or two behind. It just takes too much effort to create videos. We are not going to be doing travelogues in our van adventures usually. We just don't have time to be doing the footage that it takes. We find the videos on the water are so much more interesting. We can actually film while underway. You get interesting scenery. Here, you just can get highway shots all the time. It's just not interesting.
And then we've been there, done that. So we just share what's fun for us and what's up for us. Hopefully you enjoy hearing what's up for us, and we hear from enough people who say they do. So hey, it's awesome. Always great when people reach out and comment or say hi. So we very much appreciate that, and we very much appreciate meeting people out on the road.
Absolutely. And if we find free time and energy, we will try to do another live at some point and interact with you, take questions. That's always fun for us as well. Other than that, we hope that your 2025 is off to a great start and it's a great year ahead. We're looking forward to what our adventures take us. We do hope that this spring, when we're back to boating, we'll get back to more of a regular video routine. Hopefully the YouTube algorithm hasn't killed us so much by then that it's not worthwhile. It honestly, it's been hard not seeing as many views and comments on the videos that we have been putting out. So we lose incentive.
Yeah.
Because we lose incentive to keep putting the effort into it, which just it's all
whatever.
Yeah, it is.
We do what it is for fun. And so anyway, as far as fun is, hopefully we'll have a very fun, excitement guaranteed is the one thing they're saying about the rocket launch. So we're going to go see the largest thing ever hurled into space.
I was a little concerned. They said that there's like trenches,
trenches to dive into.
You have 16 seconds.
Only if it blows up on the launch pad, Okay. Yeah, and that'd be exciting right there.
That would be a blog post. So anyway, we will see you next time we turn on the camera. And until then, take care, have wonderful adventures, and see you down the road. We create these videos just for fun, and we love having you along for the ride. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, or if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. See you next time.